Welcome everyone, this is Sharon Richardson and I am from Shaz It Up a Bit and also a Facebook group of cricket fans in Australia. Hi everyone, I would love you to subscribe, to like and to share my tutorials. I am from Australia and I also am an avid cricket user. I do classes here in Australia and also I am a cricket product expert. So today what I'd like to do is to take you through some of the different things that you can do with infusible ink. And I'm going to start off with doing a pair of socks. Now it's not the norm, I know. Normally it is a t-shirt, whether it be a white one or a grey one. The blanks that we have with cricket, and they're absolutely fabulous and they're beautiful to wear, I must say. Also we have some bags. We have two sizes of bags, and what else do we have? And we have coasters as well. In Australia we don't have the square ones, but we do have the round ones. If you can actually find them, they sell like hotcakes. So it can be a bit of a challenge to find our actual blanks of the coasters, but they are coming back, so which is a really good thing. So without further ado, I'd like to take you over to Design Space and we can get ourselves just a little something that we can put on a pair of socks. So just bear with me and I will just go over to Design Space here. Okay, so here we go. Alright, so here we have Design Space, and what I'd like to do with Design Space is to start a new project, which I've already done, and that is by clicking up here to New Project. Then what I'd like to do is to bring in an image, and I think for a pair of socks that we might just do, or I don't know, maybe just a little cricket logo or something like that on our pair of socks. Just moving some things around on my desk here while this is going. Okay, so let's pop in a cricket. Not sure if you're allowed to do this, but I'm doing it anyway. Cricket logo, because these after all are only testers. And oh, doesn't he look so sad, this one here. Okay, so we don't actually want the whole word, we just want the capital C. Here we go. Alright, so we might just take this one here. We can change the colour. So I'm now going to insert that into our image, as our image into our project. Just move a couple of things around back there. Okay, so now that we have that, what we're going to do now is we need to resize it, so we need to know how big our socks are. I'm just going to measure my socks here. You can't see this, but this is what I'm doing. It's about 3 inches across, and we don't want them any more than about 2 inches high. So okay, so we can go up here to the sizing, or we can go down here to the arrows. I prefer to actually do it up here most of the time. So I'd make it about, I don't really want it 3 inches, I'd make it 2.5. And I know that a lot of us Aussie girls work in centimetres. I'm from the old school where we did learn imperial and then we did learn metric after that. But I still, as a designer sewer, I still like to work in inches. Okay, then we're going to change the colour because we're going to use a really nice teal coloured infusible ink. So we're just going to go in between these two and we'll go to advanced, and we're just going to move our slider across here so that we make it a bit more of an aquary teal colour. That just about does it. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is to, when you get to your mats, you've got a choice. You can either flip it before you get to your mat, or you can mirror it when you get to your mat. What I like to do is to actually flip it before I get to the mat. all right, because you're going to iron this on, and so in order to iron it on, it needs to be reversed. So we need 2 of these, and let me think. One goes on this way, one goes on the other way. So we actually need 2 of these, duplicate. So we do need one that is flipped the opposite way, because we're going on 2 socks, so therefore we need them both opposites because they're on 2 different feet. Okay, so now we go to make it. There we have our little Cricut symbols. Then we go to continue. We don't need to mirror it because we've already done that. Now we're just waiting for the machine to pick up on the Bluetooth. I've just restarted it so that we do have our connection. Okay, so it recognised that we switched it off, and we switched it on. Okay, there we go. And yes, you can see I have quite a few there that I choose from, but a lot of those are from our Cricut classes that we do here in Australia. We are going to use the mini today, the heat press mini, easy press mini. Also, now you need to choose your material. So we've got a an infusible ink transfer sheet here. So we'll choose that, even though we're doing it on a pair of socks. Okay, so now we'll just go over to the workspace here so that I can show you what we're doing here. Okay, we've got our socks here, and what I've actually done is I've cut some cardboard that are the same shape as the sock. Okay, so each one has a piece of cardboard inside. The one thing that you don't want to do is to have your infusible ink going through the sock to the other side. So therefore we need to make sure that we're covered the sock on each one. The other thing is that you don't want 2 socks going the same way, so you will flip one over, just like I did with what we did in Design Space. Okay, so we're going to switch our Easy Press Mini on, and we're going to have it at high heat. So we've got low, we've got medium, and we've got high heat. So we'll pop that there. The next thing we do is to get our infusible ink, and we're going to place that on our mat. Okay, we need somewhere where it gives us a good, nice sort of blue teal colour. It actually doesn't look anything like it does when it's on the outside of the packet, so be aware of that. Okay, that the you can see that it's actually a little bit creased here. You see those creases in it? What I like to do is to get our pokey tool or something like that. This is what I call a pokey tool. I'm not sure what they call it. Maybe they call it a puncher or something like that. And I actually want to go in between that and lift that up. Okay, so that the fold goes nice and flat then. And then I can use my brayer to then brayer that flat. Now I don't have to do the whole sheet now because we're only using the one corner. Alright, so that's what we've got there. I can put that one back. Okay, so we've got that ready to go. Then we'll go over to our Cricut machine. Okay, and I'm using the maker here. I can bring this in a little because it's on rollers, which is great. Okay, so we're just going to put that in the middle of that. The one thing I do each time I cut is to check the blade and make sure that there's nothing left on the blade. Just give it a bit of a pinch like that to make sure that there's nothing left on the blade from the previous cut. And give it a cut. Okay, so now we're going to go with that. You can hear the air, can't you, through that? Now it's thinking. Thinking. There we go. Alright, so that was an easy cut to do. So we have both of those cut there. So now we're going to remove that from our mat, and I always remove the mat coming off the Infusible. Now you can do this on a green mat. I'm not particularly fond of doing it on a blue mat because I think that it moves around too much. Just going to give that a cut out. Now if it seems that it's actually cut out from the other side, on the back side, sometimes you do get a little bit of cut through. You can always put what's known as the heat resistant tape on there. And I've put mine inside a tape holder, which makes it so much easier to use. So I just take a little of that and I'll place it over there where the cut area is, just to give it a bit more stability. Okay, so then what we do is we will take off the outside, and I know that you kind of, excuse me, you crack this. There we go. Excuse me. Weeding your infusible ink is not like weeding your vinyl. Sometimes you've got to give it a helping hand though to get started. Okay, so there we have it. We've got our little Cricut logos that we are going to put onto our socks. Now, have I done this before on socks? No, I haven't. Just let me bring you back in here. There we go. There's our little logos. I still had you on the machines, I'm sorry. Okay, so now we're going to put one on this sock and one on this sock. And I'm just going to slice them in the middle. So that they're separated. I'm just going to stand up here because it'll make it a lot easier. Okay, so I've got my sock here and I've got my sock here. So this is a now or never. Now, the way that they'll probably go is when it's on your foot, it'll be sort of sitting up like that. So I would suggest that we just put our little Cricut logo on there like that. And this is why we did a flip, and we keep one the same and we flip the other. Now another good thing to find out where your middle is, just going to fold that over like that. That's already given me a line there. I'm going to fold this like this. Even though it's tiny, I still need to fold it. Oop. There we go. So that we can get the middle of our C, which would be about there. It's a lot easier if you've got something that's bigger. I'm just going to take that off and pop that back on to where it's supposed to go. There we go. That's it. Okay, and then we can pop that in the middle of the sock there. And I don't know that I've got this one in the right spot, so I'm going to do the same thing to this. And you'll find that this is really handy too if you're doing things on bags. This is good, we've got a line in the middle of this one. Okay, so there we have it, ready to go. Okay, so moment of truth. Now, how long should we put this on for? First of all, we've got a sandwich. We have our mat, which we need to turn over. We've got our cardboard next. Then we have our garment. Then we have our butcher paper. Now, I know a lot of people tell you this in the beginning, but I think by the time we're halfway through, you forget what you're supposed to be using. So I'm now going to put that onto there like that with both of them. I'm going to have it on there for about 30 seconds, and I have a clock that I'm watching the clock up on the wall. So I just plonk it on there to start with, then I'll start moving it around. I don't like to move it around too much because of the fact that I don't want it moving underneath. Now, if you need to, you can also put your heat resistant tape over your garment. Now that's 30 seconds. I do like to keep it on there just a little bit longer, for about 40-45. The fact being that I think that if you do, you'll get most of the colour coming out of your infusible. So let's pop that there and let's have a look. Do you know, I think this is going to work. Just a couple more seconds. Alright, now we're going to go to this one. So we can let that one cool down a bit. So I just plonk it on there first. I know with the Easy Press Mini you're supposed to go around and around and around. I don't tend to do that much. As I said, I like to have the heat going through. Especially for infusible ink. Maybe with vinyl you need to move it around a bit more, but with infusible ink, I think the heat needs to go through it. I'm just waiting for the time to tick around. I just love this little Easy Press Mini. It's so gorgeous, so little, and so good to use. Okay, so there we go. Now we take our butcher paper off. So there's our socks. Now we'll be ready for our big reveal. There we go. Now can you see that up there? Not quite done. So we're going to go back over here. We're going to put a little bit more heat. Just where our other antler is. While that one's cooking, we can have a look at this one. Might be the same on that one. Okay. Let's put this one over here. I'll put a little bit more on that. Okay, that should be done now. Ooh, here we go. Are we ready? Here we go. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? Very little left on our infusible ink backing. Very little. In fact, hardly anything at all. Let's have a look at this one. I can still see up the top there. And that's because of the ridge here that we have with our band. So I should have maybe put it down a little bit further, but we're just going to put a little bit more heat there before we peel it off. Oh, they look so cute. I know the C is back to front, but when you're wearing opposites, I think it's cute. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay, so there we go. There we have it. There are our socks. Our little Cricut socks. Done in infusible ink. Opposites attract. It's really, really great. There, I hope you loved this tutorial. I'll be back shortly with another one. Thanks for watching.